Amade shema munyina ha UTV asuni omamu nsem ne amahodo so de awosamfo asoso no na wie mede be somo kasebo ekwan so donhwe baako na yenimu edi ehia na ensem ni bi ebetodwa ewo kasemu ene se ebekọ emrahye bedwafie na appointment committee Supreme Court Justice nominees na omututu omano no yakwa akotie sede ne mpomponso esi edru ene hafisata amale boba na eti edwam a yetoto na no nti ebekọ ne akotie ye maame anu ye bi ode mampanyofo saasuso na yero kujeto Blakwa Minister for Foreign Affairs de atu edwase aban ani kose obebo ne manfo a wonkofo amanso ho ban NPP amanyokuo no nso de atu edwase afimpimienu ne naduonu ensia ye 2026 January bosomeda etoso aduasa baako eyade a wonom ba be ye primaries na wayi frankakrani a obedi wonom anim ewo yabato a yebeto no emu yekọ akopiemu wo adroba so a health center ye wo ahafumantamu omanfo wo ho no ekyerese ohiamwa enti aban ene mpanyimfo emekọ wonom emwa ensema foforo nka ye bi ka wenum ho na awiemo somfo amasa kunkumankuma jesi mede sommo afei yentinsi ensem no emu yeboshi ni akopiemu ewo Supreme Court na yakotie ye Supreme Court nominee amampanyini abonidin hafisata amale boba na yakotie bra watene adwamu insede mpanyimfo anototo a womototo no esi kofa ne sede ono so oyi nsemisa no ano.
We should not hasten to do so until we have resolved the issues that confront the Supreme Court, which require that the numbers be increased. Because if we cap it and there is a justification for an increase, it would mean that we would subject our constitution to constant amendments, and that will not be desirable. But if we are able to solve the problems at the Supreme Court, the backlogs, the various jurisdictions that it has, then we would have a fair idea of how many cases on a year-by-year basis would go to the Supreme Court, and then we can have enough reason or basis to cap the numbers. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Chairman, my second question. My second question has to do with the establishment of regional tribunals, and that is Article 142 of our Constitution. And when you look at it, the membership shall consist of the Chief Justice, one chairman, and such members who may or may not be lawyers. Do you subscribe to our having regional tribunals? And if the Chief Justice is supposed to be part of the panel there or the team there that is going to work, how do we get enough of such people at any given time so that it shouldn't be like, oh, the Chief Justice hasn't come, so we do not know what to do. Let us postpone the case, let us hold on, and maybe when she's ready or when he's ready, then the case will be heard, where our cases will be prolonged.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I do not know the policy rationale for why the tribunals, the regional tribunals, were abolished, so to speak, or were subsumed into the regular court system. But it still remains part of our law. And the law says that it is the duty of the Chief Justice to establish regional tribunals, and the duty of Parliament to prescribe exactly what their jurisdiction should be in respect of state matters and public interest matters. And so, insofar as the regional tribunals still remain part of our laws, I do not have any aversion to regional tribunals. I would also like to say that the Chief Justice is a judge of every court in Ghana. The Chief Justice is the first judge of every court in Ghana, but she does not sit when it's empaneled, even though she can decide to sit. So ordinarily, a 3-member tribunal doing its work would not require the presence of the Chief Justice to sit. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm most grateful. I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll give the floor to Honorable Bit Zidin Awantazuma.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman. Your Ladyship, congratulations for the nomination.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair.
And let me tell you that we, the Upper Westerners, we are very proud of you.
Thank you.
I made this statement when His Lordship Sulbare appeared before us, and I indicated that we are happy to have 2 Supreme Court judges coming from the Upper West region, because you will be approved.
Inshallah.
And we are further proud of you because we have the first lady Chief Justice also coming from Upper West. We hope that in course of time, our colleagues in the other northern regions will also benefit from this exercise. Anyway, ordinarily, I should not be asking you any questions, but I'll just ask you one question. But even before the question, some small comment. You are a Christian, but it's surprising that your first name appears to be a Muslim name. I'm curious about that. I will not expect any response from you, but it is interesting that you are a Christian and yet you have a Muslim name. I believe that the second name is your husband's name, and your husband must be one of our playmates. So it is all good. Mr. Chairman, you are not happy, eh? The way you are looking at me.
Yes, because you are to ask questions.
Yes. I'm coming
you
to
are not to run commentary.
Mr. Chairman.
And you know you are violating the rules of the House.
Sometimes.
So you don't expect me to be happy when you are violating the rules.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. The question is, the retiring age of public servants in this country is 60. Sometimes it is extended to 60, a maximum of 65, 61, 62, 63, but maximum of 65. But justices of the Supreme Court, they retire at 70. So it appears there is some discrimination because these categories of people are all serving the Republic. Your Ladyship, in your view, is there justification for the difference? Other public servants retire at 65 maximum, judges retire at 70. Is there any justification for this difference? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The justification that I see is that in the administration of justice, we need qualified, experienced jurists to be able to adjudicate matters that will stand the test of time and to be able to also guide relatively younger judges on how to proceed. So we need experienced jurists in the Supreme Court because that is our final appellate court. It is also our constitutional court, and it has various other jurisdictions. So I believe that the age is important because of the experience and qualifications that the jurists would have gathered over the years. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair.
Yeah, abusianfo yakwa akotie kakra no tutuo ni bi ensam no ya maame ye chese wo free Upper West mantam no emu na sembisa ba ko baaye ene se ye tribunal no Chief Justice na afei enipa kakra ka ne ho ye bi kra ya lawyer fo bi nya lawyer fo na ye maame bi se koba ne se Chief Justice maaye na afei kwa yese Chief Justice maaye nti omu hu de omunye ade a eno no oje ne se no so Chief Justice no court bia wotimi etne wo ye court bia maame atemu obi ekoso bia wo mu bi nanso so ehu nhia se wono ewo ho enye se wogina ho ana wonyina ho wonu betumi adiomu djuma esan se ehu nhia ma se Chief Justice kwa akotena tribunal djumadie mu ansa na omotumi edsi ginaye omotumi si ginaye abra ye maame wo ho ana oni ho no mo and BMO esan ba ye ne say Ghana banjuma efo nyina retire 60 years akwa akira 65 now so ye hwe no Supreme Court judges a omo retire 70 onsusu se eye yipamu na ye yi na wo bua se mira media kakra metimi aka ne se ye hia nimdefo wono mu a wo mu wosuahu na ekonkan se de be ya nkwada no a eba no omu so betumi di suahu a wo no atumi acheche won enu nti na emamo ehu ne saa no nti kakra no so metumi aka de afa ho no aha na ye de esi ya ye toa ensam no so de amamu na NPP amanyoko no de atodwa se January bosome de toso duasam baako 31st January 2026 wonomo ebra abe bo entroa na wayi presidential primaries eyi Frank Akurafo a ebedi wonomo anim se amanyoko
light with the spirit and letter of Article 13 of the MPP Constitution. That power is clothed with National Council to make that decision. And National Council today also made the decision that the date for our presidential primaries is set for January 31st, 2026. A committee, or what we refer to as a planning committee, has been put in place by National Council to prepare and also implement directive that has been given to them for us to have a successful delegate conference to amend our constitution, the provision that has to be amended. A chairman for the committee is Honorable Joseph Osei Owusu, former member of parliament for Bekwai.
Yatoa ensam no so Justice Philip Bright Mensah head ya tudwa se empempi nkofo kotro LLB ensohwe se wobenya kwan no akọ mokola na wakotoa so na wabeye mranim ni a na wodi santene so enwanuru wo so na waba enti wono de osusu se yebehwe na afei Ghana ye legal education system no yatremu na yebema kwan ama onipa no accredited law facilities ni nyina obi abetumi age entete ye wo ho na ene yesekodu ba bi na bi asesohwe mpo na ombe trouble ma ni aye ne sa na ama backlog na egu ho a onkofo gina la mu twen se wo mbenya kwan eru amokola na so ate
the number of students that are trying to get to the law school has increased significantly because now we have universities that are offering LLB courses. In our time, it was only the University of Ghana, and then from there you come to the law school. So the number was few. Now it has been expanded without corresponding maybe infrastructure to take care of all those students. So I believe that is why the numbers have swelled. Now proposing a solution, offering a solution to the problem, I would think that those who have already passed their LLB and are waiting to enter the law school must be given what we call an immunity immunity in the sense that they could be grouped and then given maybe depending upon how the General Legal Council are going to do it. I think they can put a system in place where the students can be, grouped and then they are given the chance to do their courses at the law school. Now we have Kumasi Campus Law School. I think UPSA is also doing the same. So if they are given immunity and all of them are offered the opportunity to go to the law school, because invariably everybody who has entered the law faculty to do LLB who wants to become a lawyer in the long run. And I do not think it would be fair for us to impede the progress of the students who want to come to the law school. So the system must be looked at again holistically. The General Legal Council, together with maybe the director of the School of Law, they need to sit down and fashion up. And of course, there must be, also a debate. The academia must also be involved because they also have a role to play. Somebody has suggested that the courses being run at the law school must be taken there to the law faculties. That is maybe solving the problem. But the question also arises that the courses taught at the law faculties, they give the students the basic foundation of the law, theoretical. What is taught at the law school are professional courses. So most of the courses there are practical. Therefore, if the law faculties have the capacity to run those courses with the oversight responsibility of the General Legal Council, ensuring that, because here too we are talking about quality assurance must be applied. So the General Legal Council must also get involved in some of these matters and find a solution to the problem. Thank you.
So far washa amonone ehun nsem so nmunyamfo okujeto ablakwa ede atodwa se aban uniform die bia se ne manfo wonkofo amaso no wonbambo nsem wa mudie ene pepepe yo ebetumi akoso amawo.
With Ghana playing a key role in regional stability, the EU support including building Ghana's capacity in intelligence gathering and the sharing of intelligence as well as the provision of strategic equipment under the European Union Peace Fund enhances our capacity to address internal security challenges and contribute to safeguarding peace across West Africa. Advancing peace and security in Ghana and the broader West Africa sub-region remains a priority. Strengthening institutional capacity and enhancing regional security cooperation with the continued support of the European Union will enable us to effectively confront the complex and constant threats from the Sahel and the Gulf of Guinea. Excellencies, in the realm of migration and human mobility, our dialogue emphasizes the importance of humane, orderly, and mutually beneficial frameworks by investing in youth empowerment, skills development, and the protection of migrants' rights. Ghana and the EU together can harness migration as a driver of socio-economic progress. Ghana remains committed to safeguarding the rights of her nationals abroad and reiterates the importance of upholding the human dignity of all migrants. In line with the Global Compact for Safe, Orderly, and Regular Migration, we continue to encourage dialogue with the EU to discuss alternatives to detention and the need for humane reception systems that do not criminalize migration. We also call for enhanced support for stranded migrants, particularly victims of trafficking and those affected by irregular migration attempts. Legal aid, access to health care, and decent working conditions must be central to our shared migration response. And I must add that is why as a ministry, we are also prioritizing labor mobility agreements to bring the whole migration issue under a regulatory framework. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we also appeal for your support in terms of logistics as we currently continue with our evacuation of Ghanaians in Iran and Israel following the unfortunate conflict that has erupted over the last few days.
Laura Mashebedwani se wosre nadmo se womre wonom life jacket san se Laura senior high en kwada nso subonto akamuntum ama wonum nyina kogu nsuo ne.
On Saturday, 14 June 2025, I received the devastating news that 7 students of Laura Senior High School had tragically drowned while attempting to cross the Black Volta River at Dipe in the Laura constituency using a canoe. I received the news through one of the Laura constituency executives of the National Democratic Congress, Mr. Simon Derry. Mr. Speaker, the news shocked me, and I wondered what was the cause of such a calamity. In the course of the day, I was further informed that 3 of the 10 students involved had been rescued, but the remaining 7 were trapped by the river. Later, the bodies of 5 were recovered, leaving 2 of them still in the bowels of the river, which were found the following day, 15th June. The event broke the hearts of the people of the Laura constituency. In fact, the day could rightly be described as a Black Saturday. The loss of these promising young lives has sent shock waves throughout the Laura constituency and the country at large. Mr. Speaker, these were not just students. They were the hope of their families, the pride of their school, and the future of our nation. Their sudden and untimely death has left their families shattered, their peers traumatized, and our community in mourning. I wish to, on behalf of the entire Laura constituency, extend my deepest and most heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families. I therefore wish to appeal to NADMO to take steps to provide life jackets for the Dipe community and all other communities along the Black Volta that use boats to commute, well, that appears to be the only means of transport. This should not be allowed to happen again. Let us take preventive steps, including public education on safety and security. The former president, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, in November 2020, came to Laura to cut the sword for the construction of the Dipe Bridge, a very laudable idea, but sadly, the project has not seen the light of day, whilst the site has turned into the habitats of rodents and the reptiles. I wish to use this platform to make an urgent appeal to the Honorable Minister for Roads and Highways to take up the construction of the Dipe Bridge project seriously and as a matter of national priority. We cannot afford to lose more lives. We cannot allow the dreams of our young people to be buried beneath the waters of negligence.
I'm happy to say that the road minister, who is very dutiful, has responded. It's good, but we all have to follow through to get to the conclusion of it. But it's not just the road minister. I think the transport minister is also relevant. Transport on water bodies, these canoes and transport generally on the water bodies come under the purview of the transport minister. And so, Speaker, with a lot of sadness, I can imagine if this thing happens to my son, my daughter, it will be a very sad story to record. Specific to this matter, and I will pray you that, Speaker, we should give some timelines. Timelines, get the road minister, the transport minister, they should put their heads together. It cuts across the entire country. So let's look at the matter in its absolute sense, so that we don't limit ourselves. But I'm saying that we should look at it in broader perspective.
We have legislation in place that demands that before you sit on a boat, whether motorized or canoe paddled, you need to wear a life jacket. We do not implement that law. So persons take the risk, sit in the boats because that is what is available. Very often, like we've just recounted, at the peril of their lives. Can we get NADMO spending some resources providing life jackets? Mr. Speaker, life jacket one is nearly 1,000 Ghana cedis. It's so expensive. So the average man who lives by the lake, who depends on it, is unable to purchase it. The boat owners, it's so expensive, they are unable to purchase it. Can we direct that some resources be allocated to purchasing life jackets to be distributed to boat owners by way of social intervention for boat owners and the persons who depend on it? Speaker, sometimes people perish just trying to go and write BC or SSE.
Supreme Court nominee Justice Janapare Adjoa Battles Kojo Esoso akopie appointment committee anim na wode atodwa se wono de ohunu se ebra so se enya asem bia na sese ye wo obi etiko so nkoda ne neduafie yensesemu na de sese ye twena so prapra kwa ho prapra sanse neduafo no so omu ye nipa tesenya a sese wo tra dan a wo ho henha wo da se de nipa bia da na enya se de wo twetwere ban ho se de ye ana ye hunu no.
I am of the view that the time has come when we should strongly advocate for non-custodial sentences in relation to minor crimes. We will have to define what we mean by those minor crimes, but that's a way to go, non-custodial sentences. And I would also dare say, the prisons are congested. We see them. Judges, we used to go around. I mean, we see them on TV. We've seen them physically. Why shouldn't they also have rights? We could build 1 or 2 more prisons to decongest. They are entitled to sleep like we sleep, not just be all squashed up like sardines. So, in my view, non-custodial sentences, and maybe a new prison or two, maybe one built in the middle of the country further up, one built somewhere. That is a way of decongesting the old prisons. Thank you.
And Penyufo ayeyi wonom say 1st July a National Prayer and Thanksgiving Jumedie no womu eni animu no wonom akọ Speaker of Parliament announce.
Theme for that day's program is reflect, reset and renew for national prosperity. And you as a Speaker of Parliament, together with both sides of the divide, you are a critical voice in this endeavor. And therefore we are here to invite you specifically, together with the entire members of Parliament, to attend and to also add your voice to this program. We're going to have 2 services. The Christian program is from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at the forecourt of the State House here. Then from 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. we'll have the Muslim service at the National Mosque in Kanda, where the Chief Imam will lead us together with all the other Muslim groups in a time of Muslim prayer.
It is only in Ghana that you can see what you are seeing, where Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, traditionalists, we mix, we work together, we live together, and of all the instances of major conflicts in our country, none of it has ever been based on religious differences. And it is something that I proudly state everywhere I go in the world, just to reiterate how, as different religious denominations, we live peacefully together in Ghana. It is something that we should not take for granted, and that is why once in a while coming together to pray and thank God for this blessing is very, very important. And again also, we're doing everything possible to fix our country, to reset it. But unless God places his hand on the matter, you can do whatever you will do, and then he will also do what he has to do, and your effort will be in vain.
it makes more sense with reference to the leadership, as in leadership of the President Mahama. This is his third time. He took over from President Mills, became president on his own the second time, and he's in the third time. It means that as Ghanaians, including President Mahama, who is supposed to be leading, if there is no rebirth,
is a must for development. The oneness of all of us living here is not in doubt. Unfortunately, ignorance has prevailed in the country. Ignorance. And so people keep on fighting over nothingness. This is a very brilliant, not initiative, it's been available, it's been around, but a bold attempt to translate that into reality. And I've attended this National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving of other countries, including Kenya. And there is an international movement from America and the rest supporting countries to have this. Even America, where sometimes they don't believe in the existence of God. In their currency, what did they put there? In God we trust. So I was so happy to hear that His Excellency has decided that we should have this National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving. And I became more assured that it will happen when I heard that Honorable Elvis Afria Ankara was asked to lead the committee.
Onimonyafo Harry na Adrusu yeswafo ohwe nhumasua ho nsam so wode ato TV Council fofora wadan wadi se wo mumwa no muntiti nipa wo no mode ekuransa no dwuma na wo ba be bie bi am omanfo anya bi aye nyese wo no ma be ba be ya adeso asan be cha oman so.
Now we need to produce entrepreneurs who can create their own jobs and not depend on the overcrowded public sector of Ghana. That is why today's inauguration, Honorable Chair, is important for us. That you can provide that leverage and that opportunity for young people to be on their own, to realize their potential, grow to become entrepreneurs who can create jobs on their own, or not dependent that someone somewhere must be providing them with the jobs. I'm also aware of your deficit or gaps that in many of the institutions we call technical and vocational education, they are poorly equipped, inadequately tooled. I mean, how can you say you are training a carpenter when he doesn't have access to any tool of hammer? That one is easy to come by. I won't go for a sword too because there is no timber I want them to go and cut. But essentially, many of the institutions lack the tools. I don't want to sound repetitive, but I may, and is that I'm committed and I'm driving it very strongly that Ghana should have a TVET fund. I'm looking at 2.5% of total revenue of Ghana dedicated to that TVET fund. And that TVET fund is, if established, the National Apprenticeship Program that was launched by the President, even that, we can sustain it from the TVET fund. What we do is that the beneficiaries will get awards from that fund and be paid their compensation from that fund. This year, and for every other year, my thinking is that GET Fund must make an allocation to support TVET. So every other formula of GET Fund, I like to see an allocation supporting technical and vocational education.
aban aye krado sell one mu ebetintim de friend say space law ye beboa emposi ye didi dwuma dada ewo ya hoode niemu ya pomoden ene ya hyenfredie ensemu no empanyufo se ohia se wode mra ebatato
bia se ka space a ye dwen say ade a huhu bia but ye nyina ye use space technology no, let me put it that way. Inti oba step we hanom no unim hanoma oboshe o Google map ni ma e do ba ha eno no ye insusa space ho insusa so anopa sorry na weather forecast ka so in nsuo beto o ye farmer no ka so in any say nsuo say na beto a ni nyina ye space ho insusa so eno no ena obisa se ho fa so eni sen nti wo hwe ewiase abodie ma ade ba ko a itimi man enyema AC in terms of let's say let's say forest cover. Now person who share say illegal mining here cause with space technology no utimi nya enia o share because ade no wiem na hwe we are saying nti utimi hu say endra na masasi say na tie ochina say na aye nti hu say obi etwitwa nti no you can easily see no one who say e was say me hu bibi unsuo. The quality of the water also can be monitored from space science.
Efa bibi de galamsi. Yebutum ye the space science. Yes, a monitor all the areas being encroached. Yes. Na chede ye 200 mon. Yes. And see ebi wo ha yebutum ye atnankran ha. Na ye hu asama record wo takwa. Anade oboase bibia nti asana nyipa bonofo obutua na monde okase bibi ana okaye bibi a oye outside their concession na no obi scientists won kran ha otana office we hu azoro kodo dadado na waka kire security agencies na won so we to anamo nti oyaze bia se yenyina ye boa na ye supporter for national development.
Ghana, in fact, has been a member of the Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space since 2013. So you're actively involved in discussions happening in Vienna, in Austria, where the committee is based, when it comes to discussing potential legal frameworks for space activities. But this is on an international level. Now, Ghana has launched its first Earth observation satellite. You have many other satellite projects in the coming future, and now it's about really creating a national legal framework for space activities so you can attract investment, you can encourage your academic institutions to continue space developments, and we as the United Nations are here to deliver capacity, to develop your national capacity to draft such national space legislation and regulation, and also together with other experts from around the world to share their best practices and challenges when it comes to this type of approach.
Ya kwa yenu ya Bema Prince akwa ho yenyanti ese kolebu eye medical lab no eja atomu na Prince ejina ho a oboyemo Prince my hi
oba pa mejoto
yo Bema na sana esiti odumjafo atimi adru ho na anye je papa bia na atomu
yema Ghana for baba MPP o United Television so na arewo sama na fa enya na ntiefe kolebu medical laboratory ho no eja atomu e ho no na etoko piemu ho no na the fire service for no amo homoden pa fata atumi ejani edipa na omu wie ye na tefe omu tender na make some car omu de ba ye no ba ko na no port o na say therefore aka fe na piemu ho no nti no the last car ni piemu ho no nti na we say na we see no efi na ba ko mo ba edi be 30 minutes na hu say ejano so ama no home no so e wo ho no mo nti be 10-15 minutes time na omtade baas no ebi to proba ya ombetumu na niema etumi essay e wo hono pass ahodo ne computers ahodo ni niema ase wo hono no omuchire mu tanya de omutumi efa bibia ba fompo e wo hono na akwaya ro hotel intina nkoma ne niema mfo di nyina ese na last 2 years schedule and a share and ne so ahash eye hu bi na ha je wo ho ana se bi asabio ipa bon fo bi so se bi a wa bibi intine se sabi ejato mu na na asoma nkofo ka so dabi anye planet ya na emom no dan no ache ampa me so de mani ko hu no ohwe omo dan a omo office ne ade no wo mu na se kwa me nkoma bre ni bi da dan ni bi na se office ni bi e wo mu Again, you want to say electrical appliances near the wall. Purpose provision and Koswa. A bit to me, I catch fire. I go for you get the a buyer. Fire for Mohammed and my phone to Mohammed. As to move and adjust according to them. Then so Yamencha did in Nima and I say, this will be a lot more. Or should I was arguing, you know, 24 check say, almost so young Jimu, near Shenchi Pa, almost the Guapo, a furniture at Tomo Kolobu laboratory.
Lab Hong Kwan, she and Tranko baby.
So far, the background on the
na ansana Johnny Beshiano. Yenim say ye wo lab technicians aya omo hodi dwuma na obi ani dan ni mu. Wo mu hu ne say.
Yes, according to the security manager, say one na wo ho no. Ehu de ntem to me yi fa maybe e di die ado mu hu ne say jana no he den no. Omo ntumi engine omo na so omo kwa say mu ba night na people. It say omo trom ho we be run for your life. Anamo otumi 2 years ebino.
Yati lab ayenim se wakwa ya sabia na yesi kotwa bia scan na koye lab bra kwatwu moja akwadwo so ne ehu yade ehwe ha na wo de akoma doctor ehwe na ahye wo kolebu.
And the only department there and you can say and Asian because lab katia you need any ekokuhu you say the only department there and I just say no and Asian.
Na me hu se ye to track bi eno so den ya
fire service car da edo ba na say the main
the obedu jana ya twe no
ebedu jana but no omodi can so jana no
okay
so jana no da into na just say no the last car airport no mo che me say na electrical problem but omo hu the situation no na afi wa get so mo frefre car say mia ba no na was omo pushi we no na we no eba. Let's say we need every people on one. But I mean, fire and penny will be doing for one. One is about okay, and so let's have an more that on more capital. Ye, a year for school, Mugan, and 14 years. Let me say, a full. I will move on. Think I know the football 14 years, and it's the old ones ready. That is the big brand of coming from the real school. It's not just
Eti asamu Prince that's why enti ebusia de wokobo akodum nja no no ankasa wo yare woni sire ne nan bi ene wagina so na yenko Adroba Health Center na wonom kyerese enkani aho nsam yade a emwa wonom kwakwa ewo mudwumadie mu ewo ho nti woso mpanyimfo so womeko wonom mwa sede beya ebeboa na enkwada tichiwa ye wo obi okra na yose yade ni hye mfidie mu na enkani aho nsam so enye papai na omo ye ne dai
environment no enye increase yeni fence bia etwa environment nti emwa de bia ni mwa ne te facility hanmo ana obi biara nso tumi ebo facility at any time. Sometimes ebia case bia say RT ICO ba bia mafa unde kan sen omo amu atete mana ba no bo se kuruma ni na pu aba untumi control because we want crowd ne doors because of say yenni kan sen war aka facility no ahia ni ntino mutumi bowuram at any time do mpe bia sometimes mutumi ne staffs no bi be den ebenya ntoka wa hanom yenni kan sen enough accommodation ma staffs no nti biti odo biti kurumu de ana dodo na so te outside kurunu mu ndi bi wo hono ma se case ba omo facility no mo sa the case ba ne ebe russia ba abeboa bo ani obi na wo chef that time no but ye be from ma russia ba bo bi wo hono ma na ye agi nsam kakra eno nso ye challenge de to so ye although hanom ye health center de but ye ni equipment a eno bi wo hono ma ye betimi handle wa ansa na aduru kan sen you refer a kind of point, but you need equipment bit to say you need oxygen cylinders, say we buy with a kind of saying difficulty in breathing, you be man a kind of saying face it and say they do on you need some money be.
I had a labor or there be a jail. Every bed never had I had that in the bed that's a crana. Na is shaky. It's not any comfortable and my by your manager. You quite delivering it. It's not comfortable for us. Some moving so baby more than a niam pandada. Also, I special bed. You need to be moving near there and the bampa. That there be missing one thing. Come to me so as a son of my here any bedrooms. Or how about come say all your lights? If we are you delivering you doing lights. Or just a which I know you saw phone lights. And that's all should be a water touch. No the bed wow. Kebe here plants ebe you do light a bit to me also.
Here is meant for clients here, but
when our clinics coincide with that of ANC, mom bapping for the back. Na omo be we omo man so ba yankwa nti sometimes there was a relocate to one of our bungalows. However, omo ye nurses at honum Saturday no vans off oni shift I was all rested na nkure ya beta ya bebu off kre ya wo bi pani we bi dede ni ade nti we disturb them a lot. We have days that you call out. You call outreaches, various villages. You will training waha, you will course waha, you will go from waha as a coverage areas. I call outreaches. You finding seriously. And our motors are not enough. Moto nukra, mpukra, they all had a year of into here means of transport. I develop the various outreach points. Because in so try every and you drew home.
Adrobafo ebre papa nti we de ankrankra aban yensa de yensa yem se bonko won mo asan se enye kra wie abusia na ye behome so ha na yayakọ na bongo di fara e de agudie mu nsam a waboaboa no ebeto so e de aman ye basisia